It's spring 2019, Game of Thrones had not yet ended, and I had a brand new cross-country bike to try out. In search of some new-to-us trails, we made the trek west to where Trail Fork showed us a whole new trail network. As we pulled in, we were greeted by a small hill of only about 400 feet of elevation. But as we rode this cross-country bike on some very fitting cross-country trails, we stumbled across some more purpose-built features. Possibly pushing this little bike into warranty-voiding territory, my desire to have fun quickly surpassed my desire to properly test any new bike. We were off to the races, hitting the many jumps and berms on this forested hillside. Leaving with smiles on our faces, I promptly forgot all about this place. With life so full of distractions,
the coronavirus,
making a 6-hour round trip to ride these trails again was quickly pushed down the priority list.
Aww.
Then, Facebook showed me that there were a bunch of new trails under construction. The builders actually wanted these trails to see more traffic. While I enjoyed the drama in the comments about riding said trails in the wet, I was reminded that I had once ridden the same spot myself. As we promptly do with social media, I left a few troll comments, hit the like button, and carried on with my life. But something happened. I kept hearing more and more about Port Gamble Forest Heritage Park, and we started seeing images of the ride park. Bigger and bigger jumps were quickly appearing. Transition bikes loaned me a Spire, which is purpose-built for hitting jumps sized for motorcycles. With the new bike in tow, we made a second journey across the Puget Sound. And wow, was I ever in for a surprise. It wasn't just jumps, but the trails I remembered had been massively tweaked. The growth this small park has seen over just 4 years is amazing. And with that, I thought it'd be fun to make a third trip over and meet a few of the faces behind the transformation and learn some of the story behind all the sudden trail growth.
Yeah.
Sounds like, from an outsider's perspective, your full-time job happens to be trail building. Is that the truth?
It is. I am a full-time trail builder for Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance.
What do you got?
We got guest contractor, official vehicle. We're not actually a contractor, but... Before we get to the jump trails and the quote-unquote ride park, let's go try a few of the more traditional trails in the area, which indeed, we do need to share with the other main trail user here. Before we get too deep in this video, I want to mention that I have zero connection to Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance nor Kitsap County Parks. I am just a guy with a YouTube channel and excited that you're all here joining me for this video. This trail is called Derailed. It's actually scheduled to be logged in the near future, so we wanted to get one last rip on it before everything gets trimmed here. The local mascots who wanted to cruise by and say hello. Notice the Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance t-shirt on Lefty over there. Big thanks to Evergreen for all the advocacy work they do, and they've been showing us around a little bit today too. So shout out to Evergreen, and let's get one last run in on Derailed before it gets altered for the next 10 to 20 years. Let's get it. We found this awesome sequence of 4 rollers in a row. I thought maybe we could do a double-double through it. I don't know about what Logan thought.
Didn't even try.
Let's give it a second proper college try. It's gonna take me a week to catch my breath here. I didn't think that was gonna work. Being located so close to the water of Puget Sound means there's a ton of sand in this dirt. That means that the trails dry out super quickly. I can't comment for certain if it's okay to ride these trails in whatever weather, but I can say that it was raining while we filmed this, and this dirt here on the hood felt amazing. Speaking of that, this trail was a blast, and there's quite a few mellow trails like this that are throughout the park. There we go. Let's go ride some of the trails this video is actually about. So right here, I've got Al Pacino, and then Cool Runnings, and then Ranger. Big thanks to Northwest Tech for their work with Al Pacino. Thanks to Transition Bikes. I'm riding one today as well for their work with Cool Runnings. And also shout out to Norco with their work on Ranger over there. Let's do Al Pacino. One of the main characters behind the Al Pacino trail is this fellow, Nick Marvick.
I got involved originally over on the Ranger trails. There was a rebuild that was happening. There was a bunch of illegal trails at the time that were built and sort of intersecting one another. So Evergreen was hired and given the task to close down the illegal trails and then create 3 dedicated one-way downhill trails. And that's where the opportunity for Al Pacino, Cool Runnings, and then Ranger, those 3 trails kind of came up. Double black, what I would describe is like, it's a very unique sort of technical jump trail, sort of tight in a way, mandatory drops and gaps, ranging from anywhere to about 5 feet to probably 20 feet, I think is the biggest gap.
Takeoff's up here.
Now, the double in the middle.
That's about here, right there. Who's right?
6 foot drop.
Help me
On
out.
the internet, this is a 12-foot drop, clearly. So take their answer and just divide it by 2.
I grew up on the West Puget Sound out here, and man, I wish we had stuff like this when we grew up. But that was a super fun project, took about a week to put in.
Phew! Oh, that trail's sweet. Good old Al Pacino. All right, let's go check out Cool Runnings.
Good buddy and board member Matt Orlando also put in the very, very popular Cool Runnings Trail.
The Berm Trail.
Matt gives everyone a much better tour than I ever could over on this video at the Vital MTB YouTube channel.
Matt Orlando here, about to take you down my new trail, Cool Runnings, that I built with Evergreen West Sound.
Head over to the Vital channel to watch the whole video that Matt made.
That trail, Cool Runnings. Dude, I'm gonna give you a high five for that. That trail
Thank
is
you, man.
sweet.
Thank you, thank you.
I heard there's a berm trail and I'm like, another berm trail. I've ridden those before. And then dropped in, and those turns are perfect.
Like back to back to back turns where you're ripping your tires off the rim, and
Cool.
just that feeling is something I haven't really like seen in public trail building. So I did my best to try to recreate it here, and yeah, it worked out really good. So.
Cool, heck yeah, it did. What's your favorite part of that trail?
I think my favorite section, there's these 2 really large turns kind of towards the bottom. We call them the big kahunas. There's like a big right into a really steep left, and that left scares the shit out of me, and it's really fun to just try and just commit 100% to it. So I think that's my favorite turn on the track.
So what do you guys think? Are these flow trails or are these traditional mountain bike trails? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear all your thoughts.
Oh, that's fun. Those bottom berms are really good. So are the top berms. Cool Runnings. It's a really good trail. I recommend it.
In reality, I think most of us are going to ride the trails more than anything else, including those 3 really fun trails in the Ranger Zone. However, a select few hardcore of you are going to spend your time sending in this man-made ride park.
We turned that on 2 years ago, and the feedback's been really positive. And in parallel with that project, this project was already in motion with Kitsap County Parks and Port Gamble Forest Heritage Park to build an actual ride park here. Upwards of 20 different trails throughout the park currently in this phase. And we built these jumps actually a year ago, and they've since been closed since then. There's no easy way to say it. We built them too big for the speed that was around. So we came back actually just this last week, finished up 10 days to basically redo the lines and really enhance them for the available speed that's here on the hill.
I think it's quite noble the crew admits the first attempt at building these larger jump lines didn't quite work as hoped. This group strives for perfection in everything they do, so I'm looking forward to another return visit to see what they've done since. First, second, third, even fourth attempts at manuals can often just be a learning process. So you know what? When it comes to building jumps, I totally understand that they need a little bit more fine-tuning.
And this trail behind me is called Howdy Neighbor.
That is now called Trail 4. We can't call it Howdy Neighbor anymore. The neighbor
I think there's a bit of a story behind the name.
targeted.
I'm not totally sure what the real story is. That said, it's a ripping little trail, fun little loop you can do. Give yourself 15 minutes to do this quick little loop right here. It's super fun. Single track, raw fun, Northwesty. Let's get it.
That was a really fun trail to build with Brian Connolly and I, and Brian Tessenson did a little bit with us, but yeah, it was just a really fun trail to get built. Really enjoyed that intimate aspect of going through the trees.
Yeah.
So.
So tight.
Community wanted a lot of flow trails and progression and jump trails, and so that's kind of what we targeted. We are trying to get a lot more technical trails built in the next couple months.
Gotcha, that's the next phase.
Yeah.
Now zooming out to the bigger picture, there's a lot going on here. This is normalizing building really big, gnarly jump lines, creating opportunities for many more to expand their own riding ability level.
Transition to Blue Steel, we wanted something kind of like that down here. And so now that we have it, I think It's really just gonna pave the way for more people to do stuff like this all over.
Born and raised in an excavator, I just enjoy seeing the finished final product more than just the rough pile of dirt.
No.
Kitsap County Parks has been just a fantastic partner to work with on this project from the beginning all the way to the completion of it. They've been very open to allowing Evergreen as an expert trail building contractor to really come in and provide an infrastructure that we know is best for the project. And generally they've been really flexible and a great partner to work with.
It's important to note that Kitsap County Parks put forth the majority of the funding for this project, followed by Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance. I'll have a link in the description below to the Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance West Sound chapter, and if you'd like to support this project, I recommend becoming a member.
Fundraising by both the West Sound chapter and then also by the county.
Okay. Do you know like a rough percentage pie for each? Like...
I'd say 70-30 with the county being 70.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, super generous.
Cool.
And also what's not captured in that's like almost 5,000 hours of volunteer time.
That helps me understand a lot more of like what their role is. Like they've paid for this basically.
They paid for a lot of it, and also part of that is the agreement is that there would be this Evergreen match contribution.
Yeah.
And that's a cash dollar amount of like us paying professional trail crew beforehand. And then also there's a volunteer component. This project required 2,500 hours of volunteer time.
Yeah.
Twice that. You get a work party here and people show up.
So yeah, we're super excited, and seeing what happened in Bellingham with the progression that brought to the community, like I'm just excited to see that happen here on the West Puget Sound. And
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel with that little red button down below. Consider attending one of my wheelie and manual clinics here in Bellingham, Washington, and most of all, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful next bike ride.